Flight boss, bitch. For sure. You're not listening to the Mind Eminent Terry's Moon. Dolo the Archangel Uriel, and Dolo here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're gonna get a little 3D right now. We're gonna because you know what I'm saying? It's all fine and dandy going in all these other dimensions, but it's always important to come back to 3D every now and then because this is the existence that we are experiencing right now. So right now I want to talk about 3D and the effects that these other dimensional concepts have on the 3D realm. Now, this video right here is going to be called The Solar System is a System for Souls. So you have a soul, you have a spirit, right? Now, look, you have a spirit. Anytime your spirit go in, I-N, E-N, D-N, just the letter N, I don't give a fuck what frequency is dimension is vibrating under the sigil N itself. Anytime your spirit go in something, it becomes a soul because it becomes fluid now. It has more dimensions to perceive. You see what I'm saying? So your spirit is always the frequency, and every time your frequency go into a space, into a realm of reality, a womb, or whatever, it turns into a soul because it is vibrating now. Your spirit is vibrating. The spirit is like, you ever looked at a line when someone is on a deathbed or something like that? If that line is flat, it's a flat frequency. That person is a straight up spirit. But if their spirit is vibrating within them, it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? So that's when you know they got there. It's a living spirit. A living spirit is a soul, basically. So your spirit is just your conscious awareness. You know what I'm saying? But your soul is when it's living. Like when you have a thought, that's when you have a thought, you caught a thought. So that ain't come from you. Either came within, without, or as above or so below. And when you caught that, the moment you tie an emotional feeling to it, you give it life. You give it soul. The moment you tie an emotional feeling to it, you give it life, you give it soul. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to let a lot of things go in one ear and not the other. When you talking to some bullshit ass people, make sure about 90% of their words is going in one ear and not the other. I don't give a fuck what they talk about. A lot of times will be important in people's lives, really not important. You see what I'm saying? So I encourage everybody to let 90% of the words that's coming out of the majority of people in your life. I encourage you to let the majority of those words go in one ear and out the other. You see what I'm saying? Now, to talk about the solar system is a system of souls. Now, you could kind of say in this realm of reality, from a 3D perspective, this solar system will be the oversoul. It will be the overall being that you in. Now, if you was outside of this being, looking within this being, it would look like a snake that's trying to get wings. You see what I'm saying? That's trying to turn into a phoenix, basically. The snake turning into a bird, but it never reached the bird. It never reached the ego. It never reached a turn to fly off. It's just it's concepts. You see what I'm saying? Now, in this system of souls, right? This is the solar system puts you on a certain light path. So this is what you have to understand. Let's bring it down to 3D terms. Let's look at solar system in a way of like countries. You have certain countries who run their country better than other countries. So that's like solar systems, right? Now what you have to understand is a system is a system, period. So when you want to look at a system and see how it's as above, so below, don't be saying that shit and then you don't really believe it, because it is what it is. But you have to look at it like that. It is what it is. As above, so below. So when you looking at a solar system, and it's a system of souls, we all got souls underneath this system, right? Then we're here, then it's like a job. It's almost like we've been brought here to work. You see what I'm saying? To keep the system afloat. Now, when each soul powers and give light to the overall soul. Same way all the employees give power to the manager. All the managers give power to the district managers. All the district managers give power to the whole business itself. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you're looking at a system, as above, so below. Look at the systems you in. Now, we have a lot of people who build a lot of arguments based upon people feeling like we got oppressed, people feeling like things is not right, people feeling like there's a group of beings on earth taking over things and making this group of beings do other shit and things of that nature. Look, This ultimately is the wrong idea about it, because here's what's going on. You have a system, right? Now, you got a group of beings that come on Earth and apply themselves to this system. So it's not an issue that you have certain beings that got more power than this certain beings, and this being is oppressing this being based upon history and shit like that. No, what we got here is we have a group of beings applying themselves to the system in the original way the system likes to be ran before this group of beings. So you see what I'm saying? So when you have this group of beings who've been in power so long because they've been doing things in the way that the rotation wants them to do it, then that's almost like if this race of beings isn't catching up or doing things like the way they're supposed to, then they're going to blame this group of beings for their downfall. And this is the whole wrong idea of it. This is where you get this group of beings feeling like they're being oppressed, feeling like they don't have nothing, feeling like they've been brought here from another land, feeling like they've been getting took over and things of that nature. When really, this group of beings just need to step into their own power and start applying themselves with the system the way the system is. Now look, this about to be the simplest way to say it. Instead of fighting, people like to blame white people and blame it's all racist. But look, let's just say it is white people or the presidents and stuff like that, right? Instead of looking at them like they are oppressing you, or instead of looking at them like they are doing something, they got more power than you, you need to start doing things the same way they do it. You see what I'm saying? This is not a situation where you got a group of beings who just got a gang of power and authority over others. This is a situation where you just got a group of beings who went along with the system. And people look at the system and the economy and they can't go past the system and the economy. What I'm trying to tell you is the only reason that system that you live up under works that way is because that's the way the solar system works. And any idea that you have of some, like for an example, you got a lot of people here right now who kind of understand the concept of we're going to ascend. But a lot of people think that they're going to ascend straight to a sun, straight to a sixth dimensional being, whatever like that. You don't have, if you just an average person, well, ain't nobody average, but say like you just a person like me. We just doing videos. You can skip processes though, but I'm saying like, look, we just doing videos. We trying to get a light or whatever like that. We may be consciously aware, but we don't got the responsibility of multiple consciousness awarenesses, right? The only people who got responsibility of multiple consciousness awareness on this 3D realm is people like the government. You know what I'm saying? The entities like the government, the elite. You know what I'm saying? People who are in high ranking. These is the only people who are going to be first to become sons and things of that nature. A lot of us ain't gonna be doing nothing but becoming planets and asteroids and space dust and shit like that, just to keep the systems keep running. But you have to understand that if you're not responsible for a large amount of consciousness awareness, then you haven't developed a light orb. You see what I'm saying? This is why, look, the highest elites is people you never see. And vice versa. The highest sun, the highest black hole is black. You can't even see it as being light. You can't see it. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, as above, so below. So yeah, we could be spiritual warriors all day, but that don't mean we're actually now. We may have to be here a lot longer than these people, but when we get there, where they at, we will be able to take over their position, right? Because we're doing it now. We're making them lose power by us being consciously aware. We're making them, for an example, have you ever questioned yourself like, okay, why is countries in debt in general? And why are you responsible for it? Like, I don't give a fuck about no head G-John, whatever like that, them smashing together particles and atoms and shit from one side of the country to the other side of the country. But America paid billions and trillions of dollars to get that machine made. And who responsible for that? You. You got to pay for that. And you just an average person who don't give a fuck about them smashing particles together. So why is you responsible? Why didn't no so-called president or so-called people come out and ask, if this amount of states and cities agree with this, then they could vote on it and they could get that taken out of their taxes. And if this group of cities and states don't agree with it, then they don't have to apply. They don't have to get their taxes. They don't have to pay for this, and we don't have to be in debt for that machine. You see what I'm saying? Like you just paying for shit that you don't even know why you paying for it. And it's fucked up because it's almost like they just tell you whatever. And I'm starting to believe that that's the way a country is ran. They have to be in debt. It's not a situation where a country can be ran that's not in debt. That defeats the whole purpose of a country. I think countries have to be ran in debt. So our whole purpose here is to get awoken, to rise above, and to stop giving these energies powers. You see what I'm saying? We don't need an entity that's running countries and running things the way they run it now to be the sun first. We don't need to be under this kind of system over and over again. See, all I did was take it a step further. You're gonna have a lot of people on Earth right now. Well, we got to do this first on Earth. We got to do this first on Earth. Only thing you got to do is stop paying attention. Stop being consciously aware of that shit. You don't have to abide by no system. You're already in the solar system. It works a certain way. Don't let certain beings do the things the way that the solar system is doing and overtake it like it's their system. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what's happening. That's why you feel oppressed. That's why, because you got someone who went to the finish line first and made it seem like the game was theirs, like the system was theirs, when really the system is up for grabs for everybody. You can apply yourself. Like, for an example, if it was me and a whole bunch of group of other people in the New Age community or conscious community, and we all came together and made our own government, our own system, and things of that nature, things would be running fine. Now, the only problem, issues we may come to is when the actual government, who feel like they took over the system for so long, come and try to apply that system with their system. But what I'm saying is, if we are doing the system the way it's supposed to be done, it's nothing they will be able to do, and we will be receiving so much light and energy that that should have just disappeared. But people don't know how to actually create a system because they don't understand how the solar system works. And you have a bunch of elites and a bunch of beings here who understand how the solar system works. And they understand everything I'm saying. They understand that the solar system is a system for souls. So what do your soul do? Your soul vibrate. It carries out emotions, right? So that lets you know that's how everything works in the solar system. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand? If you in a solar system, and a solar system is a system for souls, then the only thing you need to know is, how does a soul work? Now, how does a soul work? It vibrates and it carries off emotions and feelings. So we in a solar system, a system for souls, we know the only time something is going to work within it is if souls are paying attention to the things that's presented in it. You see what I'm saying? So, for an example, when we watch news channels, what do news channels do? It's sparking emotion, feeling, right? And now that's a vibration. Now, a news channel is saying one specific thing, but news channels are popular. So that means millions of people are watching that one specific frequency at one time. So the frequency, the spirit, that's like an idea, a thought, a concept. So that'd be like a sentence. That'd be like something, agenda or something that the news channel put out. The moment everybody attach their feelings and emotions to it, that shit is alive. That shit is vibrating. So whatever agenda that they put out has life, has legs to walk on now. So they understand the simple shit of how a solar system works. You see what I'm saying? Now that you know this, stop vibrating on their shit. Period. When you hear something that they want you to think is so devastating, don't feel like it's devastating. Simple. And the more and more everybody end up doing this, the more and more you're going to start seeing it disappear. You're going to start seeing it fade away. You're going to start seeing things that you want to see come. You're going to start seeing things that you want to see developed in the system. Because, like I said, it's a solar system. It's a system. systems can be changed. Systems can be ran different. The same way you got each country run their system differently. You see what I'm saying? So that telling you systems can be changed, but it's not saying that a system have to be changed. It's saying that create a system, and a system is here for you to create because you're under a solar system. You don't have to go with someone else's system. That's their system. The moment you give your emotional feelings and your vibration to another system, then you selling yourself short. Come up with your own system. You see what I'm saying? And it don't have to dive into things like you quitting your job and things like that. It don't have to even go that far yet. It can start off small. You know what I'm saying? And you will start gradually seeing things change in your life eventually in ways that you can't think, because your brain is not here to figure out what's going to happen in the future. Your brain is only here to decipher what's going on in the present. So for you to sit here and try to think what, when, where, and how was going to happen if you do this and do this, that, and the third, you're selling yourself short. You know what I'm saying? Your only job to do is to keep your spirit and soul intact, your ideas and your vibrations intact. You know what I'm saying? That's your only job to do. The physical is going to start playing out in that way regardless. It has no choice. That's universal laws. Is that so many people are lost in the physical, lost into the energy, lost into what matters, what they think matters, that became matter, that they forget their spiritual nature. They forget that you're the only one paying attention to these things. You see what I'm saying? It's your responsibility to stop paying attention to these things. You see what I'm saying? You see that before currency, before you even come out in money, you're already paying because you're paying attention. So you're already giving it your source. You're giving it your life source. You're giving it you already. And you are the most wealthiest person in the world. But they're not going to tell you that though. They're not going to tell you that. But if you die, I bet they take out all your insides. I bet they take out all your insides. You are the most wealthiest person in the world. You got a price tag over your head the moment you was born. You know what I'm saying? Your soul is important. This is why they want you to go through school. This is why they want you to get a job. This is why they want you to help keep their system running. Because without you, their system won't run. Why don't people understand that? Like, people see people like me and other people like me every day like, these niggas ain't got no job. How the fuck these niggas getting from A to B? How the fuck is these niggas getting houses? How the fuck is these niggas? Because we're not paying attention to the shit that we think we need to do to get that shit. You see what I'm saying? It's like, that's it. So we end up finding other people who don't pay attention to these things. So when we come together, it becomes a source. It becomes a light. You know what I'm saying? That all of us can abide by. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes a system. So we're creating smaller systems within other systems, and into the overall system want to come and try to be a parasite to that system. But if we're doing the system in the right way, we don't have nothing to worry about. We don't need to be kicking no fear or anything like that, because if anything, these motherfuckers better fear me. That's how I look at it. You got all these. I hate people. I hate when I click on people's videos and I start watching. The first thing they start telling you is, "Oh, you better be afraid of this," and "Oh, when this coming, because these people is doing this," and y'all better watch. Man, fuck that shit, nigga. If any type of fucking being, fucking parasite coming out, you will get killed. Believe that, because I am consciously aware to see what's going on. See, people will be afraid. They just not consciously aware enough to see what's attacking them. So it's almost like a sense of fear. It's almost like a sense that they have to watch out because they can't actually see what's. I see everything that's coming in my way. Believe me, you will regret. You will regret trying to become any obstacle in my life. I don't give a fuck what kind of being you is. Spirit, your fucking whatever kind of being you is. Believe me, I'll see your ass. You will get killed. Ain't nothing out of my fair reality. Believe that. That's how I look at it. I dare a being come and oppress me in some type of way because of what knowledge I'm giving off. You must be out your motherfucking mind to come at me like that. For real, I talk to spirits. I know what spirits is in my circumference and which ones that ain't supposed to be there. I know when I'm getting attacked. It's like the other day, 2 days ago. Reason why I ain't been putting no videos up, because anytime I go out and have a little bit of fun, I have too much fun. Some shit like that. I don't think I'm allowed to. I ain't allowed to because of who I am. You know what I'm saying? So when I do maximum highs, I go maximum low. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I enjoy myself, I go maximum low and get super sick too. Like it's just stupid. Like it's stupid, but at the same time, it's real and it is what it is. And I know when I'm getting attacked. You know what I'm saying? By a being that don't think a regular human is consciously aware of them being attacked. Don't ever think you just sick for no reason. Don't ever think things is just going on in your life for no reason. Don't ever think you got people, places, and things in your life for no reason. Everything is for a reason. You see what I'm saying? And once you start to get consciously aware, you start to see these things. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll start to see why when you do things, you get a worse situation brought upon yourself than someone who do stupid shit every day. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like you know better. When you get consciously aware, you start to see these things. So it's almost like you can't be used as a vessel, so it has to attack you in another way. Where other beings who just lower beings who just do stupid shit every day could be used as a vessel to be experienced because they don't know no better. So a lot of times these things become their pleasures. Me, it could be something that pleasure everybody in the world. Like me, it could be I could have a best friend, right? And they could just win the lottery or something for $1 million right next to me. I won't ask for a motherfucking dime. Period. Like, cause that ain't what. It's hard to explain, but I would not give a fuck. I won't even share your excitement. None of that shit. You might think I'm negative or whatever like that, but that ain't my spirit, my soul. This is how I keep myself intact. I don't give a fuck about your $1 million. Now, if you want to open your hands out and give me some of that, all right, that's on you. But I'm not gonna ask you. And 9 times out of 10, I probably don't need none of it for anything. You know what I'm saying? So if you do help me out, I'm gonna apply it to things that I can apply to things that may benefit me. You know what I'm saying? Might get a new microphone, some more computers, or some shit like that, this, that, and the third. But just as far as me being happy as you won $1 million, start thinking about the million things you could do with it. Hey, bro, I'm not on that page with you. I don't give a fuck. You could take your $1 million and you still the same person to me. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a person who get a lot of money and then want to put themselves and their faces in front of everybody else to receive that type of praise, to receive that type of interest, to receive that type of, you know what I'm saying, that type of glory they get for having that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't go with no wave. I don't give a fuck about what you think is happy for you in your life. It could be anything. You could have just got married. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, and it's not to say that I'm negative. It's not about being negative. It's about me not caring about the things that's ran under this regular system. So whatever you think is good, I'm not gonna think is good. And whatever you think is bad, I'm not gonna think is bad. I'm just not in your realm of reality. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to stay. You know what I'm saying? So it's not negative. Like I'm with you, bro. That's what's up. You got $1 million, but don't sit here and try to throw no emotions and feelings on me like I'm supposed to express some type of way about that. Like I got $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already rich. I'm already a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. I'm a trillionaire. I'm rich in spirit. I already know that for them to even create money and make it be backed by gold or whatever, I already know the whole reason of doing that is for me. Because none of that will have no energy if I'm not paying that attention. If I'm not paying attention to that. You see what I'm saying? So the whole purpose of those things is because of you. It's because of me. Do you understand that? The whole purpose of them making money. So you going to make money, but the whole purpose of them making money is because of you. So stop giving a fuck about that shit. But I understand how long it's gonna take. I understand how many people that's gonna have to come across. So I don't even want to say just the average person just quit your job or some shit like that, or I don't even want to say stop giving a fuck about money, because I see how far down humans is in general. So everybody just need a starting point. So what I can say is continue going to work, continue making your money. But what I will say is stop paying attention to every fucking thing. Stop paying attention to holidays. Stop paying attention to just stop paying attention to the things that they try to create for you to give your money out to. You know what I'm saying? Because you already got a hard time making your money. they don't need to be creating all this shit to give your money away even faster. You see what I'm saying? So just keep in mind and stop paying attention to shit and stop paying attention to their system. Even though it's gonna be hard to get out of their little money system, keep going to work, keep doing what you're doing. But what I am saying is stop paying attention to the other shit, to the shit that they try to make you pay attention to. And eventually everything else will stop being paid attention to accordingly. It's like boss bitch, goddamn man.